From mysterious sightings of the dogman and dark stalking figures to a forest full of creepy dolls, stay with us as we dive into the world of the unexplained and the unknown. People have talked about Bigfoot for a long time, but it is not always that we get to see a picture or a video that actually makes us think that they might be real. This picture, which was taken by a trail camera in the middle of the forest, featured a creature which was exactly like what people had always imagined Bigfoot to be. It was huge, had dark grayish skin covered completely with hair, had a face which somehow resembled a gorilla, and a posture which made it look like a human. Considering the fact that the picture was taken in a rather remote area where there are no humans even miles around, the chance of it being a human is lessened. However, according to the owner, the creature ran past the camera fast and knocked it while doing so. This was the last frame the motion detection camera caught. Still, if you ask me, there is a chance that the picture might be edited and perhaps fake. Imagine going to the woods with your friends, and minutes after you set up your camp and everything, you see this. A weird creature standing nearby, hiding behind the trees, staring directly at you. Anyone would be freaked out, and so were these people. But fortunately, before getting back, they made sure to capture it on the camera. When the clip was uploaded on YouTube, it had many viewers saying that it looked exactly like the infamous dogman, due to the fact that the creature in the clip was standing far from the people, and therefore, the clip wasn't clear enough to determine if it was a dogman or something else. No one could back their theory up with anything, but I would say that it could easily be someone with a costume on trying to prank the people coming to the spot for camping. Captured by a trail camera recently, this picture sparked a massive argument on the internet, featuring two figures, one moving forward and one in the back. It had people saying every kind of thing. The person on the left looks like they are a decently equipped hiker. The person behind them looks very much like a Native American whose legs are either missing or were moving when the picture snapped. We can argue about this all day, but in the end, no one can prove one way or another that this is the ghost of a Native American or a person in light-colored clothing moving fast to keep up with their friend. If this is the latter, the lack of hiking gear can be explained if they have a light-colored backpack in their right hand, which we'd never see, or they are making their friend do the hard work. Recorded in October 1994, this clip might be too old for some, but that does not mean the creature it had captured was any less terrifying. If we consider the fact that it was recorded back then, which means there is a lesser chance that it was edited or altered in any other way. The clip showed a giant figure walking alone in the middle of the mountains. The person recording it or the camera recording it must be at a significant distance, as we can't clearly see what the figure looked like, except for its dark skin, huge height, and human-like walk. Where exactly was the figure going? Or what exactly was it? These are some of the questions that everyone had in mind when they first saw the clip, but there was no one to answer. Even the experts found themselves perplexed over this one. For me, and truth be told, this looks like it was very real, but it could be just a human walking around as well. Most of the sightings of Bigfoot are either very deep inside the woods or in areas where it is pretty much impossible for most humans to go. But this clip features a creature which was so curious to see the humans that it wandered around the highway, stalking and following humans it spotted nearby. This family got freaked out when they saw the dark figure lurking nearby and decided to record it on the camera. But since the video did not give a clear view of the creature, I cannot say for sure if it was really a Sasquatch or just a man with a hoodie on stalking these people. Either case is just as scary. Driving along with friends at nighttime could be good for some people until they come across something or someone they had never imagined. As they were driving and recording the surroundings with a flashlight on, they saw something in the distance. Deciding to slow down and actually wait for the thing to come near or something was not a wise decision, if you ask me, because as they zoomed into it, the figure in the distance became a little clearer. It was an eerie figure with whitish skin that ran straight towards the men, freaking all of them out. When they later uploaded the clip on YouTube, everyone was quick to say that it must be the skinwalker, because even if we think of it being a human with a suit on, a human would not look like that. For me, it was definitely a weird cryptid or something because of the way it had no eyes, mouth, or anything. And the way it was running, I think there is a very low chance that it could be a human. This clip, unlike others in today's video, does not show a Bigfoot or a cryptid, but, in fact, gives us a look into the world where we can't potentially see the danger, but these animals can. Marmots are often known for standing to keep a lookout for danger and scream when they are in extreme fear. They keep chirping as the enemy gets closer to warn their kin. Something here to note is that when extremely scared, a marmot call can even sound like a human scream. The closer the danger, the shorter the call. Presumably, this is because the animal has less time to make noise and wants to beat a hasty retreat. The fact that this little thing was standing so close to the humans, screaming like that, makes me think that maybe it was trying to warn the humans of a potential danger that was about to come. As the video ended there, and then later uploaded anonymously, we can't say what happened later. Known as the death machines, crocs are usually known to be the ultimate predators, but there are times when they mess up with animals they have no chance against. Take this croc, for instance, who made the dumbest decision ever in its life. As the family of elephants were peacefully drinking water from the lake, and humans on the other side of the lake were recording them, a croc decided to bite the trunk of the elephant, let alone the biggest one. For a second, the elephant could not believe what had just happened, but then it knew exactly how to handle it. So it went into the water and stepped onto the croc to get itself free. The video ended right there, but it would not be so wrong to think that it might be the last bite the croc could ever take in its life. Dogs are not just man's best friends. They have a soft heart and they never stop to help anyone in need. Be it a baby deer drowning in the lake. Take this dog, for instance. It spotted a baby deer crying for help and knew it had to react immediately to rescue the little one. The dog dived into the water, grabbed the baby, and swam back to the shore near its human. According to the man, they tried finding the baby deer's mother around, but she was not there. Maybe she gave up on the baby and went away. So they took the baby to their home. And now the doggo and the deer are both best friends. Just like humans have to disturb and destroy the homes of animals, there are times when these animals decide to raid human homes as well. This video was recorded by a security camera installed inside the house, and it had the homeowners shocked to see what was happening in their house while all of them were sound asleep. The bear came inside the house through the front door and went straight into the kitchen. It opened the fridge and examined it for a few minutes before moving on to the shelves, drawers, and other things. Unfortunately, it did not find any kind of food that it could be interested in, and therefore, according to the owners, the bear had already left when they woke up the next morning, and that's when they realized they had left the front door open by mistake. Recorded not in the woods or any remote area, this clip was captured by two teenage boys right in the middle of the town they lived in. According to them, they had been seeing the creature before too, but it was not this close to where they lived. However, this time, the creature crawled up to the town and was sitting in the dark when the boys saw it. Determined to capture it on camera this time, they turned the flash of the camera on, and we could see the weird crawled up creature sitting under the block. It started making creepy noises too. But why exactly were the boys not scared of it? I mean, if it were me or any other human being, they would have been freaked out by the sight and by being so close to the creepy creature. And if we consider this, I would say that there is a chance that the video is fake and perhaps edited. For those of you thinking of oceans as peaceful natural places, and where you can just enjoy the sound of the waves like you do on the beaches, this is not how they are. Oceans can be very scary at times, and this clip will just give you a glimpse into that. Recorded by a man who was kayaking peacefully in the ocean when he heard splashing sounds coming from his left side, and it did not take him long to realize that something was right under him, and he could be in grave danger at that time. However, the creature or whatever it was under the water went from his left to the right, splashing water in a terrifying manner before disappearing completely. Now, if I did not know that manatees are the ones who show this kind of behavior usually, I would have been freaked out too, and by the looks of it, it looked like the notorious manatees in action for sure. Recorded and uploaded in 2014 by a mother who could not believe her eyes when she saw what her security camera had recorded. When her little son was out in the street playing with his bike right in front of their home, a dog saw him and came running to him. At first, they thought the dog might just be trying to play with him. But then, in a second, the dog bit him and was about to drag him onto the road when the cat attacked the dog. It's usually unlikely for cats to jump into action like that and kick the heck out of the dog, forcing it to run away whimpering. But this cat did not want to compromise on its human friend's life. The cat even followed the dog to make sure it wasn't coming back. The woman who came rushing to get her son said she was very grateful to the kitty and still thinks that it was an angel who came as the cat to help her kid. These men kept hearing weird noises coming from their backyard. Curious, they knew they had to go check what was there. At first, we don't see anything because of it being dark. All that we could see was the laundry they had put to dry out, and nothing else. But then one of the men turns the light on, and a creature crouching on the ground comes into view. The creature looked like it was looking straight at the man for a few seconds before it hurried back into the darkness. The video is of poor quality, so we cannot make out clearly what the creature looked like. But it was small, had a weird-shaped head, and was fast. According to the men, they immediately reported it to the authorities. But nothing like that was ever seen again. Ask me, and truth be told, it looked like it was really a cryptid. Maybe some kind of animal suffering from a disease. What do you guys think? It is not always cryptids or Bigfoots that roam around in the wild, terrifying the whole world. Sometimes it is birds or animals too. So unusual that they make it hard for us to believe our eyes, even if we might be standing right in front of them. Take this clip for instance. This man spotted a huge bird-like creature right in the middle of the woods. It had a long beak, brownish feathers, and was standing on its legs, walking around. The bird looked at the man for a few seconds before moving forward towards wherever it was headed. For me, it was unlike any kind of bird I had ever seen before, and can easily be a new species wanting to be discovered and studied. This 6-second long clip had everyone terrified when it was first uploaded on Facebook by the owner of the camera. He just wanted to share it with his friends and family to see what others think of the strange clip his camera had just recorded. According to him, everyone was asleep, and the clip was recorded late at night. So there was no way it was someone living in the house. But then, who was the figure descending the stairs and then disappearing behind the wall? Was it a ghost? Was his house haunted? These were the questions he had in his mind. And unfortunately, no one was ever able to give an answer to these. For me, it could be a camera glitch, because some cameras tend to do that when they get faulty. But that would mean it was some intruder in the house. And that is a scary thing in itself. Humans are curious creatures by nature, but there are times when their curiosities lead them into very terrifying situations. For instance, some guys had heard about a cave in a mountain which was famous for being a home of a scary creature, so they decided to go check it by themselves. What they did not know was that whatever they had heard about it was actually true. As they went into the cave late at night, they soon spotted a scary being with glowing eyes hiding behind the stones, looking straight towards them. The second they had their eyes on it, the boys ran for their life. But what exactly was that creature? Was it an alien? Or was it something else? The cave being in a remote area. I don't think anyone would try to go there to prank these guys, unless it were the boys making a fake video themselves. This is a really old footage from a group that was traveling in the Himalayan mountains. The group was filming their trip to have memories for later on, and we can see them filming themselves as they are traversing the mountain range and camping. However, as they were climbing higher and higher, they had a strange encounter no one expected. As they were moving through a covered part of the mountain, they noticed something way ahead in the snowfield. A large, hairy creature making its way through the thick snow. They said that compared to how they were moving through all that snow, the creature was moving a lot faster, making it seem rather easy, as if it was accustomed to such harsh environments. Experts who reviewed the footage estimated the creature to have been around 6.7 to 9 feet tall. But moreover, it could have also been extremely hard to fake a costume that large, moving with that ease in the snow, all the way in the Himalayan mountains. So what do you think? Is this one of the best footage of the Bigfoot? Take a look at this footage from a man who decided to take his dog for a run in the forest. In the video, we can hear the dog barking at whatever was hiding in the grass. But a few seconds after the dog started barking, the creature leaps from the ground, ready to attack. It lunges at the dog, and right when they are side by side, we can see the true scale of the creature. It seems to be a wolf, but it is incredibly large, larger than any wolf I have personally seen. It was at least 2 times the size of the dog, which also seemed to be big enough itself as well. By how natural the creature moved and the way the dog reacted to it, make it seem very unlikely to be faked. And I know wolves can get pretty big, but this seems unexpectedly large, especially compared to that big dog. Dire wolves were considered to have lived thousands of years ago in North America, but were thought to have gone extinct. Does this prove otherwise? Is that a dire wolf? This trail camera caught something unexpected, a supposed murderer turned fugitive called Brian Laundrie. For those of you who do not know, Gabriel Petito and Brian Laundrie posted a video on YouTube to document their trip across country together. Suspicions rose as the family did not hear from the girl for a while, and they declared her missing. Her body was unfortunately found in the end by the FBI, with signs of strangulation. But her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, was nowhere to be found. A national search began for him. What we see in this Trailcam footage is believed to have been him trying to escape the police, traveling through forests rather than roads and towns. And what is creepier is that this might be the last sight anyone caught of him alive, as his body was later found along a white backpack, similar to what we see here. The FBI noticed that he seems to have died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, which makes us conclude that he took his own life. This is a really short footage caught by some people who were in a ski resort in the mountains of Spain. During a blizzard, they spotted this strange creature moving in the snow, and although it is a really short clip, we can make up the figure of a tall, full of white hair creature. It seems to be bipedal, as we can see it taking a step. But this was not the only sighting these people caught of the creature during their trip, and they managed to encounter it when they had no blizzard outside, and this time they took some pictures of it. It really does seem to resemble some relative of Bigfoot, perhaps a Yeti making its way through the mountains. The people who took these photos reported it to the resort, and an investigation began, but they did not find anything afterwards. So was that an Yeti who understood it stood way too long in sight? Or was this a hoax? What do you think? This is the footage from the body cam of a police officer in a raid on a supposed house full of drugs. But what they are about to find is a lot more terrifying. As the policemen proceed to enter the building, we can see the front door continuing to slam really hard. One policeman enters, but the door keeps on slamming. They look up and down at the door to try to understand what is causing this, but cannot see anything. It seems like a normal looking door. After all the policemen enter the already haunted looking house, and looking again at the door which keeps on slamming, they quickly decide that they need to get out of there. And as they get out, we can hear something breaking behind them, which terrifies them even more and makes them start running. So what was that? Why was the door slamming again and again? What was causing that? Is there something sinister going on? Or just some stage trick? This Trailcam footage might have caught one of the most interesting sightings in a while. Although blurry and we can see it just for a few seconds, we can make up the figure of a creature thought to be long gone. The Tasmanian tiger. The Tasmanian tiger was a native Australian animal, but because of the climate change, they slowly died out, being declared extinct in 1936. But having seen the way they look, when you are looking at this Trailcam footage, does it not look surprisingly close to them? So did this trail camera catch on a video a Tasmanian tiger? Does this mean they are not extinct and there are still other Tasmanian tigers out there? What do you think? This footage was caught in Brazil and it has a bizarre encounter on it. A strange figure is seen moving behind a table in the tall grass. It seems to be full of hair, with long ears, but with an overall face resembling a dog. It seems to be looking straight at the camera for a few seconds, after which it quickly runs away. But the way it begins running seems more of a man rather than a wolf. So what are we looking at? Is this some kind of a dogman? Or is it someone in a costume trying to play a prank? What do you think? This trail camera probably caught one of the most unexpected sightings you would see when looking through the footage of your trail camera. A big group of soldiers, fully armed with automatic rifles, were caught on this trail camera as they were going through the forest. Many of us would expect to see animals or strange creatures of the night on trail cameras. For sure not army soldiers. I looked into this and apparently the soldiers were there just for some training. But it is weird their training got caught by this trail camera. Look at what these fishermen caught while out at sea. It looks like a fish, but it seems to have arms with claws on their end. Personally, I have never seen this combination in a creature. Should it be a fish or a crab? It does look very bizarre. If anyone knows what this is, then please let me know in the comments, because I have no idea what we are looking at. And although I know there are really strange creatures in the depths of the ocean, I have never seen this. What we are looking at is a device that was inserted in some sewer pipes to check whether there is some blockage along the way. But as the device was making its way along the pipes, it found something strange. In the muddy water, a hand is seen reaching out to the camera as it passes along. It can seem really creepy to see this in a sewer pipe, and many people were startled by what they saw. But having looked at it for a few times, I think that what we are seeing is just a frog that was startled by the device moving towards it. But what do you think? Was that a frog or something else? Somewhere in Sweden, there is a forest full of creepy clown dolls. They hang from the branches of trees, their painted faces staring down at passersby. Not far away, an old tent stands abandoned. The sight is so unsettling that few people dare to venture into the forest. Locals believe that the forest is haunted. They say that witchcraft was once practiced there, and that the dolls are the remnants of dark rituals. But it is also possible that the dolls are simply the work of pranksters, taking their Halloween decorations to a new level. Whatever the truth may be, the forest of clown dolls remains a mysterious and unsettling place. Those who enter do so at their own risk. Recorded a couple of years ago, this clip still terrifies anyone who watches it. It shows a boy standing in front of the door, looking at someone on the other side of it. Moments pass, and the guy puts his hand on the door's glass, and the person on the other side does the same. But when the guy opens the door and takes the camera with him, we see that there is no one on the other side of the door at all. The child, or whoever it was there, had completely disappeared in thin air. According to the man, his house was haunted, and this wasn't the first time he had seen something like this. And personally, I am starting to believe the guy too. If you want to see more strange footage, then watch this.